Hi everyone, welcome back to Taji's World of Books and welcome back to book haul number who knows. Hey you guys, welcome back and thank you so much for joining me. I got another book haul for you today and I wanted to come on because there's the release of Sarah J. Maas's book, so I really want to talk about that. But really quickly, I don't have a lot of books to share today, but we're just going to get into it. And the first book that I have to share with you is A Heart in a Body in the World, and it's by Deb Coletti. And so I went ahead and picked this up. I'm really excited to try this out, and my understanding is that when you lose everything, what else do you have to lose? So you take off and you leave. And basically, it's this character, Annabelle. Something tragic and terrible happens to her. And as a result, she just is overwhelmed and says, I can't take it anymore. And she takes off and she leaves. And it's kind of like a Forrest Gump type situation in that she attracts a lot of attention because she is traveling from Seattle to Washington, D.C., throughout college towns. She basically is trying to escape whatever happened to her, but she's also being followed by her grandfather in an RV and her brother and two friends who are also following behind her. And so she gets a lot of support because people see and hear that she's traveling and they want to know why, and she either gets supporters that are really nice or she gets supporters that are not. She also feels a tremendous amount of shame and guilt about what happened in her past. And so she really is trying to escape that, but you can never escape what's behind you. Somebody once said to me, no matter where you go, there you are. And that is the case in this situation. She finally has to confront what lies ahead, and what lies ahead is what happened behind. And so it's about, facing your demons in essence. And I love that somebody reviewed this and they basically said that this is a novel that's full of sorrow and rage, but also beauty and hope and so much wisdom. And so I'm really looking forward to getting into this. This seems like it's going to be up my alley, and so I'm excited. So the next book that I picked up is by Amy Harmon, and it's called Making Faces. And this is about Ambrose and Fern. And so I think maybe because of who I am and my profession, I like deep, dark, delving, trying to understand the human condition, understanding loss and grief. I love that in general. And so, of course, I'm going to gravitate towards books that speak to that. And this book absolutely does. It says that Ambrose Young was beautiful. And as a result of the things that happened to him, is he still beautiful? And so basically it's a story of a small town where you have 5 young men who all go off to war, but only one comes back. And there also is, from the same small town, Fern, who is basically a nobody. She is an insignificant person who has not been recognized or accepted before. And so as a result of all the loss, their stories meld, and it's a story of collective loss, individual loss, loss of beauty, loss of life, loss of self, and loss of identity. And so this is going to be a tale of one girl's story with a broken boy and how they all come together. So it's a modern day retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And so I think this is going to be really deep and heart-wrenching and powerful, and I'm super excited. It's going to be a tear-jerker. It's going to bring all of the emotions, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. So this is Making the Faces. Okay, so you guys, we talked about, but I wanted you guys to see the entire trilogy. We talked about the serial killer right? Like I went ahead and got the romance between a serial killer and a girl on a dare who's like, Nancy Drew's nothing on me. She doesn't find herself tied to a radiator next to a serial killer who she kissed on a dare. So I said, I got it because I wanted to make sure, because I wanted to read it, right? And then when I read I heard about it, Then when I read the caption, I was like, oh my God, I got to read this sooner rather than later. So I purchased it so I would have this as a bookmark to remember this is something I wanted to read. But then when I read the back, I was like, girl, you got to go ahead and get the rest of the books because we need to read this now. So I went ahead and got the others. And so mine basically is a follow-up, and it says people wear masks and I cut them off. So this is Ren and Sarah, and it's a serial killer romance. They fall for each other, but it's going to be sick and twisted and demented. But I'm understanding it's really good. And you got, like, this is fiction. This is not real, right? And so we read these things because they're entertaining or whatever, but they're dark romances. And so I went ahead and followed up with mine. And then the third is a companion novel, and it's called Yours. And it's a dark bad boy romance, and it takes place in Tijuana. And you already know, you go down to Tijuana, and it's like, you better have your wits about you. And nope, gun to my head, collar around my neck, whisper in my ear, telling me to follow orders or else. And then the drama ensues. And so this is another story that, you know, is a companion novel to the others. So I'm going to read this pretty quickly. And then I'll tell you guys what I think. But it's fiction. It's fiction. We don't condone this in real life, clearly. But in fiction, we want to be entertained. And so this is going to be very entertaining. So, and oh, I forgot to tell you that these are by Aubrey Dark. So that's those. And the whole reason why I wanted to come on and do this video, you guys, is because the tome has come in. I'm so excited. And it's A Court of Silver Flames, and I'm not even going to read the back of it because I don't want to know. I know it's got to be, it's Nesta's story, and I'm assuming it's Nesta's story with Cassian. I'm super looking forward to it. This is what I'm going to say. And I love that Sarah J. Maas said this, and let me get on a little bandwagon here, and let me do it, and just forgive me. Sarah J. Maas put out this kind of, I'm not going to say it's an edict, but she put out this plea to say, please don't do spoilers. If you're like me, I don't like spoilers. I don't want to know what's going on. And she's asked people not to post anything on this book. And she gave a timeline for a reasonable amount of time to start putting things out. And what do people do? They read it in the first 24 hours and they're already putting out videos on it. And I'm like, people, please give everybody an opportunity to read it, experience it for themselves. However, I am going to say, which I am very appreciative of, the people that have put out videos do in their description say that this is a spoiler video. But I feel like I'm on my, social media feeds and I'm going through, oh, don't look, oh, don't look, oh, don't look. And I know it's going to get spoiled. So I feel like you've rushed me and forced me to read it right away, or else I have to ban myself from social media so I don't see what people are posting. Just give people an opportunity to read it, experience it for themselves, and without being spoiled, and then we can start a forum and we can talk all we want. I want to talk for days about this because I'm loving this. So I got to get through, I think I'll get through A Court of Mist and Fury today, and I will start Wings and Ruin tomorrow. That may take me 2 days probably, and then Wednesday I think I'll start this, so hopefully I can get through and figure out, because I have some speculation about Nesta. Now that I'm reading it again, I'm sort of catching things that I didn't see the first time around. So I'm like, ooh, what's going on with the Cauldron? Ooh, what's going on with Jurid? Ooh, what's going on with Amarid talking about, oh, there was only one other time that, a mortal woman was, made immortal. And so I'm hearing a couple of other things. And I also caught a little jewel in Court of Thorn and Roses where Rhysand talks about other worlds and how Amarin got here. No, it's in A Court of Mist and Fury, how Amarin got here. And I was like, oh, that relates to A Throne of Glass, because remember when Aelin is falling through the different worlds where there's breaks in the worlds and he kind of helps her along. I'm like, oh, that's a little Easter egg there. So there's so many cool things, and Sarah J. Maas, we love her dearly. She does a great job. And so anyway, I'm going to get into this. I'm super excited to have it. You guys should get it, read it, and so we can chat about it. And that is all I have for today. And I really appreciate you guys' support, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. and I love you so much for it. And that's all I have for today, and I look forward to seeing you. Oh, you know, I gotta say it. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so I will see you in my next video, and thank you so much for tuning in.